had to just get my paper and my pen. I doodle and I get questions inside of questions sometimes, and I can't forget.
Okay.
Do you live in Ojai?
I'm sorry?
Do you live in Ojai? Ojai, California?
I used to. I live in Carson City.
Oh, you live in Carson. Nice. What made you attracted to Ojai at first?
Well, I've been there 40 years ago. And I just was looking for somewhere that was near LA, but not LA.
Yeah, and it's perfect too, huh?
For what I wanted to do at the time, it was perfect. You know, I was there about 15 years.
There's legends of you down here in Ventura County. Everyone always talks about you, and
okay.
yeah, we do a radio show out of Ventura County, and we also do a magazine, and everyone that comes through our radio show, oh, do you know Dave? He lives in Ojai. All right. So Dave, what are you into? Just in general.
In terms of what?
Besides music, like you as a man, when it's just you by yourself, what do you find yourself drawn to?
Well, I'm pretty much. That's about it. That's all I've. Especially for the last 16 years. I mean, I've just pretty much been on the road.
Yeah.
Is solid. This is about the first year I've taken time off.
Is that hard on a person's body and soul?
Well, traveling. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not 18 anymore, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my own. Excuse me. I have my own bus, so it makes life easier. And you just have to have. Mostly, it's just about you. It's really just gotta have the right state of mind to go do it.
How has art changed for you personally? Because
the music or what?
Yes, in music.
Well, I don't know. I mean, other than rap, I don't suppose there's really much of a change.
I'm speaking more of on the lines for you as an artist writing. Because when you're younger, you're more aggressive.
Yeah, I just do what I do, and that's so. For me, it really hasn't changed. I don't really write that much anymore because I don't really make albums, CDs, whatever you want to call them these days.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point. It's just everybody's just stealing everything. So it's no point to it for me, frankly. So I don't really write that much. I never really was super prolific. I mean, I just wrote certain, when there was an album needed, I'd write. And I'm not really driven to write like I was obviously when I was younger. When you're younger, you get more, trying to find out what it is you're trying to, what it is you can do, what you can't do, what it's about. But a big part about it is that it's just, I mean, as much as everybody wants to pretend it isn't, this is a business. I mean, this is my work.
Yeah.
As much as it, the art is 10% of what I do. The rest is fucking hard work and just doing it. So, and I'm a working musician, and that's what I do. So, I'm part of songwriting or copyrights, and when that goes away, that's part of your business is gone. So it changes things up. Yeah, I mean there aren't the record sales that there used to be.
What percentage would you say?
That makes a big difference.
What percentage of your income would you say, not of your personal, but just as an artist, that you would attribute to being, the new age of music and piracy?
Well, I mean, for me, part of it really is no different. I mean, I've been on the road and touring bands since I was 18 years old, and I'm 71 now. So that is, I've been doing that for years. But that, and also there's just and radio is just not there anymore. So, you can call, say, well, there's the internet and there's this and that, everything else, and there is, but that is just one big, huge, worldwide shopping mall.
Yeah.
And unless somebody's specifically looking for you or whatever, in the back when there was a record business and there were records and there were DJs and there was an FM radio station, then you got played, and DJs would be there. People would actually be there. I was talking to some kids about radio, and they were like, I said, do you listen to radio anymore? I said, nah, we don't listen to radio. Well, why not? Well, because there's nobody there, and we know the second half of the show is going to be just like the second half of the show, which is true. It's like classic rock radio. They're playing everything you've already got at home,
yep.
And they don't play new music, and there's nobody there. And half the time they're not telling you, they just play it anyway. So back in the great days of when FM radio was, they would mix it up. It would be, and the other part about it is everything's got categorized. Everybody's got these blinkers on it. It's all in categories, and concerts are like that. And back in the days of Bill Graham, they'd have, who was great. They'd have concerts, but they'd put something new on, or they'd mix something that was jazz influenced with pop, and they would mix it up. And so it's, whether it's better, worse, or whatever, the exposure's not there anymore for an artist like me. So, I mean, I've got new music. I got a bunch of it sitting in my studio. But is anybody going to hear it? Is anybody going to, realize it's out there? I don't know unless somebody plays it and gets it out there. So yeah, it's a big part of it's gone away.
It's a double-edged sword too, because you have artists who are able to finance themselves now. You can record at home, you can release via YouTube, Spotify, and you don't need a record company backing you.
I do that. I mean, I've got my stuff. I put it up. For sales, I'm like the Tupperware man at the door. So yeah, that's a big part of it. That is. Here's the other thing. When when an artist gets a million plus plays on Spotify or whatever the other one is, Pandora, okay. They get 1 million plays on the record, and they get a check for $250.
Shit.
And that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Because Spotify and Pandora and all those people are, there's certain royalty rates that are already agreed on, and they're just not, covering. And I'm not just speaking for me. I'm speaking for all the artists out there, But the problem is that the young bands don't give a shit. Okay? And when you're young and you ain't got a mortgage and you ain't married and you ain't got kids, why would you give a fuck? You don't care.
Yeah.
But when they start getting a little older and they start growing up and they start life starts to take on reality, I'm sure they're like, well, wait a minute. I don't know if that was such a good idea.
We just fucked it up for everyone.
But then you've got this whole, cultural notion going on, which is to me, it's just amazing. It blows my mind. There's an entire culture growing up of free. Well, which they don't worry about the college loan. They'll pay it. Somebody will pay it. Or this is free, or that's free. It's screwed up. I mean, it's just like.
I take it you're not a Bernie Sanders fan, huh?
Oh, please.
No. What would you feel? All right. Well, that's that. Do you feel? I mean, on the politic note, do you feel like life has come full circle? Because
in what way?
In the fact that in the 70s, it's very similar to where we are now. The want for change, the need for change.
Yeah, but change to what?
Change.
I mean,
okay, go ahead.
It's the point. Everybody's about so change. I mean, nothing really changes at all. It comes in a different colored box with a different ribbon on it and a different thing.
Yeah.
Nothing's really going to change. Things that matter most in life don't change. Truth, honesty, hard work, just basic shit. That's life. And that doesn't really change, but you get the scream for, and then change just for the sake of change. Unless it's going to be change that's going to enhance or improve things, leave it alone. If it works, don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
Leave it. It just and so socially, it's a big experiment, basically, and a lot of it, I'm just, I'm born in 1946,
Mm-hmm.
So my grandmother, I'm brought up with a grandmother that says you don't work, you don't eat. So I have a strong work ethic, and I don't really like to get into politics because that's my own personal opinion.
Right.
Most, socially, I don't really give a damn what people do as long as they ain't doing it in my face and they don't infringe on me. On a socially, financial, on a business end of it, I'm probably more conservative.
Oh.
But I don't care what people do. Like I said, it's just don't parade it in front of my face if you're going to go off the tree. So, but mostly when it comes to music and stuff, I don't really get into it and I don't really talk about it because you hear enough of that shit every day on TV and the radio and the rest of it. And that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to make music. I'm here to take people away from all that shit for an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it is. So that's what I do, and music's my own personal little escape from all that shit, out there. So, and I guess a lot of what I do musically, because my audience for the most part is from 40 up.
Mm-hmm.
I do get kids, younger kids that come to the shows, and frankly, for the most part, they're kind of blown away. They're like, "Oh wow, this is really good." And my friend who's up here, engineer, is telling me about. I guess there's the new trend is what they call yacht parties or something. That these kids are doing, and all they're playing is classic music. So, because I don't see music as being old or new, it's either good or it isn't, and so there's a lot of what I do for young kids, frankly, would be new.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and a good song is a good song, and a good song will last, you know, a long time. So
I read when I was doing the research for this interview, I read that you're involved in two different charities. In both of them is exactly what I stand for. One of them is Little Kids Rock, which is to help bring music back to public schools, and
right.
and then the other one is Rock Our Vets. And I'm a 12-year vet in the military.
Oh, well, thanks for your service.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Both of those are things that we do. So the first one, Little Kids Rock, you know, that's one of the purposes of what we have here. We have with our what we do with the No Cover magazine, with the radio show. We do this to try to save music, because it's going down a path where instruments aren't really valued as much anymore, and a lot of things are going electrical, or not electrical, but more mechanical, and
right.
you know, synthesizers and everything via computer. Tell us a little bit about those two organizations and why you chose to side with them.
Well, to be honest with you, Little Kids for Rock I was asked a number of years back if they could put me on the board of Little Kids Rock, and I am supportive of music education as a subject in school. Yeah, I mean, when I went to school, I'm brought up in England, English, so my education was very broad. And then music was part of what we had to take every day. Not every day, but once a week. Mm-hmm. It was a music class. It's already, you know, there's been so many studies done on it. I mean, music, the response for autistic kids that happen with music. Mm-hmm. Just the appreciation or understanding and the help it does for understanding mathematics and stuff, and how it works with the brain in all those areas. I mean, they've done studies for so many years on that stuff, and it's important whether you take it up as a career or you don't. So the fact that it's sort of, you know, it's dropped from school curriculum is kind of stupid. Like I say, not necessarily, like I say, not really, you know, advocating to try and create more musicians, but it very much helps with the brain, with thought processes. So it helps to enhance it. So I mean, yes, I would love to see that back in the school system. It helps on so many levels. Rock Our Vets, I'm like I said, I'm born in 1946. Mm-hmm. So my dad was born in 1894. My father was in the First World War, and my brother was driving tanks in North Africa in the Second World War. And I grew up and, you know, still seeing bombed out parts of cities. So I'm very aware of what freedom is, you know, and a lot, unfortunately, over here in America, it's just a lot of young people seem to think that freedom is a right, and they don't understand that freedom is a responsibility. It isn't a right at all. So, you know, I've grown up right on the back end of all that stuff, on two world wars against, you know, a regime that was, you know, just a bunch of thugs and gangsters dressed up with a swastika.
Yeah.
So I'm all very aware of that. But I'm supportive in Rock Our Vets we support all uniformed services. We support the firemen, all those crazy bastards that went into a fire instead of out of it. And I have a dear friend who lives in Ojai who was with the LA Fire Department for 30 years. And we also very much support law enforcement. So we support all the people that put on a uniform and in some way or other help, keep a resemblance of sanity or protection on this society that we have,
Yeah.
Especially law enforcement. I mean, without laws, it would just be anarchy out there. It'd be crazy. So, yeah, so my friend Teddy Knapp, who lives out in New Jersey, yeah, we very much strongly support all that.
And I appreciate that,
it's a pleasure to do it.
One of my biggest gripes, when I decided to leave, I started seeing a lot of things. One of them is I had one of my buddies who was really messed up from the war, injury-wise.
Right.
And for 3 years, he was not being taken care of. And this... either
administration, I don't care what it
is. No administration. It's not an administration's fault. This is definitely 100%, when they come back, the VA system.
Yeah, but my point being is that the way whatever administration is running with the Democrats, of which there's no such thing from what I can see as a Democrat anymore down there. Mm-hmm. I see a bunch of liberal socialists, and where's the Democrat? So, or Republican. It's like either one of them. They should be ashamed of the way the vets have been taken care of when they come home.
Yes.
It's a crime. It is. I just think it's one of the biggest. I don't know how they can, frankly, let that happen and just ignore them like that. It's crazy, man. I mean, there's some, 20 suicides a day going on out there. It's insane. Mm-hmm. And these people got to sit around and wait for treatment and stuff. My God, when they come home, they should be, hey, just what do you need? What do you want? We're on it. We're taking care of you. It's a crime. It's morally fucked is what it is.
Yeah, morally, yes. And, my buddy, he was out there for 3 years, living out of his car. He wasn't able to get a job because he couldn't walk. He can barely walk. He had a messed up back. He had 3 or 4 herniated discs. And it's, like you said, it's morally wrong to and you also said earlier that freedom isn't free, and that I saw firsthand how it's not free.
Right, exactly.
And when they come home for fighting for freedom, they should be revered as heroes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And that's what I meant by the full circle, because when people were coming home from NAM, they weren't getting taken care of. They were revered as bad guys.
That's when I first moved here, and knowing my background, I was just shocked at the way they were being treated, like being spit on, and I was like, what are you people doing? You're crazy. This is nuts. So, I've seen it go the full circle. So I view it in a different way, as I said, because I'm the son of a family who were in 2 world wars.
Yeah. So
I'm very aware of what it means to have a free society. So yeah, it's just. But I'm hoping if a lot of people can get out of the way and get on board. I know that Trump, whatever you think or don't think about him, I know he really. I know through friends that he's hugely supportive of veterans and military people. And I know he's trying to get that thing sorted out. But the fact that they're not all on board with that is, like I said, it's holy fuck, man! It's just, it makes you want to puke.
Yeah.
You know, so, and hopefully it's going to get changed. And I do believe he's going to do whatever steps he can to make those changes, and they need to be done. It's not like an if, maybe, should I? It's like,
it will.
Get the fuck on it.
Amen. All right, let's shift gears a little bit, back to music. Yeah. When's the last time you were inspired by either another musician or watching someone? When's the last time you yourself were inspired?
Well, I have to admit, I don't go to concerts and I don't go to see other artists, because for me it's like it's like taking ice to the Eskimos. When I'm done playing, I want I want to. But Tedeschi Trucks is just fucking great. Love them. Susan Tedeschi is just great. Great fucking band. Love them. Joe Bonamassa. Awesome. One of the great guitar players out there. I would have to say that would be my two picks right there.
Does the music business make you callous?
Life will make you callous if you let it.
Amen. That's the perfect answer.
It's just there's good and bad everywhere. So it depends. Everything's an attitude. Life's an attitude. You go at it with the wrong attitude, you're gonna get shit. You have to somehow be positive in the face of just, absolute bleakness. You have to find a way to do that. Otherwise, you're just not going to make it.
How do you unwind?
Busy doing nothing, like I'm doing right now. just taking time off. Like I said, I'm 71, so I'm not as swift as I used to be. So,
What does your day look like?
I read a lot.
You do?
So, yeah, I read a lot of books, all kinds, adventure stuff, or biographies, or.
So this was like the first time in 16 years you've taken off, right?
This is the first time in 16 years that I'm going to have time off. I've got a few more dates in September, actually some California dates. Actually playing in Ojai.
I know, I saw that. September 25th, I believe, right?
Yes. And then from November, I'm going to take from November till March off. And that'd be the first time I've ever taken that long in like I said, 16 years or more.
What are you going to do? What is it going to look like for you? Like, you wake up at 7, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock?
Yeah. No, I'm up pretty early. And then I'll pretty much watch the news, watch the markets, go noodle around in my studio. If I'm here at home in Carson, maybe just go up to Lake Tahoe, because it's 30 minutes from my house right here.
You
but
fish?
Otherwise, I'm sorry?
Do you fish?
Well, I don't fish, but I like to. I haven't been in a long time.
Sounds like a plan.
There's some good stuff up there in Tahoe to pull out of that lake. So
get it.
So it's just my life's been so wrapped up with music. Honest to God, I don't have any hobbies, I guess. So the music was my hobby and my life and my profession. Everything. It was.
Is it hard on the family?
Well, there's just myself and Winifred. There's just the two of us. Oh. And the two little dogs.
All right, I think I have only two more questions. I'll ask them simultaneously.
Yeah.
What is your favorite movie of all time? The first question. And the last question, what would you say is the proudest moment of your career? Your proudest moment.
Well, movie. Gosh, I mean, it's hard to pick one. Let me pick it on the. I have to pick it on the basis of would I watch this more than would I watch this movie more than once?
Yes.
I'd have to say Casablanca.
Casablanca. All right. My grandfather,
Yeah.
that was his favorite movie. I used to sit down on his lap and watch that with him over
Yeah.
and over and over again.
And it's a movie you can watch over and over too.
Yeah.
I'd have to say Casablanca. And then I'm sorry, the second part was what?
The proudest moment of your career.
Oh. Hmm. Well, I would at this point I would have to say it's some stuff that we've done that in our own way, little way, have done for help some vets. Like helped a guy start his own, helped a couple of them start their own businesses. One's a farm in Florida that's just doing. He's gone on to be just really successful, and they hire other vets. And another guy helped him start an office cleaning service in St. Louis. So that's what I think that I would have to say. I don't think it would be musically. It's nice to know I've helped somebody be able to stand on their own 2 feet, take care of themselves.
You're a good man. You're a really, really good man, and the world's a better place for you.
Well, thank you. It's just for me. It's not even a thought or anything. It's just I do it anyway.
Yeah. Dave, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you as a person, and
thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll send you some magazines, and
cool.
And hopefully we can see you at the Ventura County Music Awards. I'm not sure if they.
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to work that out to do that. So.
And art.
And I think we will. So, thank you.
Thank you.
We look forward to meeting you. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Be safe.
Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye. Woo! Jules.